right, everyone, as you can see, we got the car up on the lift here today. We are going to do some BMR drag race springs in this thing, drop the ride height down, see if we increase our launch a bit. My 60-foot kind of sucks. You know, the IRS suspension, this back here is kind of notorious for this with the way the camber is. So we're going to zero the camber out on the car, drop it down a little, and see how this all does. You know, nice side on this, you can already see fenders are out of the way, so I should be able to get this thing down in there and not have a problem with the drag radial still. So we'll kind of walk you through everything that's got to come out. All right, you have to drop the brake lines off, pull the shock. Basically what I understand most people are doing is you've got spot 1 there for the IRS sub mount, spot 2 right there. Pull both those out, drop this entire thing down, pull down on it, and the spring will slide out over there. So we'll get it going through, get it all dropped down, show you from there. So one other thing I'm going to install too right now, we got the cradle lockouts, which are going to come up underneath here. So you can see I've got this rested on there to drop the IRS side down. You need to do this to get the spring out anyway, but there's a bolt there. The bolt's over here. This is what we're going to actually put the lockout on. So we're going to do that while I got it apart. You can see I've got this dropped down. You want to pull the wheel speed sensor stuff off of there. You want to make sure the brake line is free. If you're supporting this, you can push the end link out on the sway bar as you drop this down. Support under here, and then you can pull the 2 bolts out of the bottom of the shock, and this will all swing down. Then you can pull on it. I've got Big Bertha over here. We're going to pull this down, pull the spring out. As you can imagine, can't really do this with one hand and the phone, so we'll finish prying this on out of here. All right, let me tell you, this thing is a bit of a bitch. So, careful on these bolts. You don't want to cross thread them, the big ones that go through here. This is how the lockouts work on this. The top one goes up there. This is the shorter piece on this one. That lockout turns around, this bolt goes back through. You get over on this side. This one, the taller one goes up here, bolt goes underneath through there, and then the 2 small ones go back here. You do have to pry this around. Like this entire thing, when I released it, shifted forward that way about 1 inch. So you get a pry bar, pry it back to place, get the bolt started, then you can kind of pry this around a little bit more to get all this in here, and then you crank this all down. All right, we got them in here. Everything's back together. I will note, I ended up pulling the entire sway bar off to get the springs to come out. They would not go around the end links with them there. So a couple of bolts in there, take those off, came right out, just kind of finagled it around. See the springs in there. You can see that's how our lockout is now sitting on that one. And it's also got the top piece there, so that's locked out. So it should reduce some of the flex and movement. And then there's a camber bolt in here. I'm gonna pull this all the way out towards me. Then I gotta get the alignment done after that, but we got this all back installed. I will say, be careful of these bolts coming back through the shocks. With the way it comes back together, this thing turns. And I did end up screwing up one of the bolts, so I had to take a die down through the threads and clean it back out. But just be careful when you're doing that, because it's not quite straight and it acts like it started and then freaking cross threads up in there.
It doesn't help, these are aluminum.
No. And that's what happens when you lower the car and the wheels are these. You can see the little disc is just sitting. So, turns when we go to put it on a piece of paper.